Hey, GT from Death Wears Bunny Slippers. This, I'm hoping, is a cool video. This is a really important, probably one of the most important things we've done in the silo, even to date, and that is fix the water problem that we have. There's two big sources of water. We talked about that in another video. One is the top of this. Can you see that, Sam? Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so the top of this got blown off. We're not talking about that right now. But the top of the missile silo itself got blown off, and then the water table is so high, water spills in and comes in through the end of the tunnel. To fix that, I came up with the idea of what if we put a steel bulkhead in? So just like it sounds, basically we're going to build a dam, except this is going to hold back all the water. No spillover, no hydroelectric generation or anything cool like that. So we are going to put that in. We've got a lot of raw footage from that, so I'm hoping you like it. So here it is. All right, so we're looking at the end of the tunnel, a little short piece of cableway. But where we're actually going to put everything, you see that circle of the tunnel. That's a curved I-beamish thing that goes all the way around. So we have to cut the floor out, and that was part of the problem we had was with it, you can't get the pump down to get the water out unless you have a hole. So where the pump is now, we cut the hole with a Sawzall under 2 inches of water, which is actually worked out okay because it cooled the blade. So cut this part out with a torch. So this is the side that it's actually going to go on. We have this I-beam right here that we're going to try to have to deal with. We don't want it gone, but may have to cut it out. So we cut another piece so we can get into weld, but of course the bulkhead will go on this side because the water pressure will come from that side. So our plan is just we're going to beat this out, try to get access to it from so we can weld on that side. We also got to get this pipe out of the middle here. All right, so we finally got that piece out. We got the pump sunk really low now, but the water is not moving very fast. It's not going down very fast because it's just going to be a lot of water. So we also cut the pipe. You see that right there. That's the drain. There's a pipe drain down the middle here for the decontamination room. But I made a cut right there. You can actually see the swirling coming up from it. So it's basically draining that pipe right now. So the trick is that I-beam right there going across the bottom. We're going to have to cut that out, which is going to be definitely a chore. But getting the water out of the way is going to be the kind of just a waiting game. But for now, we're going to go upstairs and get the, we're going to drop one of the bulkheads down, one half of the bulkhead down. So what we found down there, because we thought this I-beam was actually had the bottom flange of it on there, but it actually doesn't. It just had a little channel built right there for the pipe. And that's just a drain pipe right there. So what we're going to do where that's boxed in at is we're going to weld a piece in there and then move that pump to the other side, of course, because it's going to fill up and start running over. And then our big piece that we're going to put in so we're cutting this to the curve right now. So where we're putting our piece in right down here is our so here's our first piece. You go on the bottom. So that's a drain hole, but that's going to actually not going to be in existence anymore because we didn't know that I-beam was there when we did this. So these are just some hand holds, and then these are little brackets. This is the back side you're looking at. So these are these little brackets. You'll see that's for the top piece to slip into. So, because obviously no one's going to want to be on the back side. All right, so all we got is a little more cutting to do, some welding, and we're gonna move this thing into place. Okay. Now, hold on a second. Ruben, why don't you step on the other side here? Okay, where? Just pull that away and step to the other side. Okay. Okay, up and towards me.
Yeah, I didn't go out on the side. This way. I can't get over.
See, we got a waterfall here, so we got that hole plugged up. See if it'll zoom. We got that plate over there. And we're getting ready to put our piece in place, but we realized it's gonna be a whole lot easier if we have it in two pieces. So just splitting it in half right now, or down the side. We'll use an angle iron piece on to butt it together as a brace. All right, so this is the end of day 2. We got the bottom half is pretty much in. We ended up cutting it right there. You see, we haven't finished welding it in, but so that is just it'll have a valve on the end of it, but that's just to keep the pressure off of it during construction, because if we don't, we have no ribbing or bracing on it. So here's what it is. Here's what it looks like on the other side. You can see that pipe maybe right there if you can see it. So it's over the pipe on that side. So it'll be nice to have it done, but we got another day here in a couple days to do it. Just hope the pumps maintain the water between now and then. And well, we've got the top 2 pieces in. All the seams are welded. We're just putting in some bracing across it now. But that gives you an idea of how much water flow we've had, and we've definitely had more than that. So that's all coming from the other side, and we still have a pump here working it. It's really just maintaining it right now. We're not trying to pump it out. We're gonna put a valve on that, put some more bracing all the way up. I'm pretty confident that this would hold without any bracing, because weld all the way around, 1/8 inch thick. But we're gonna put some bracing in. You'll see some gaps like that I expect will not be there once the pressure gets behind it. But, well, it's in place. Valve closed it down. It's actually got to fill the whole silo. So it'll actually take quite a while for it to do anything.
So you just saw us build the original bulkhead. It worked, but it always made me nervous. It just was, I know it's 1/8 inch of steel sitting there. It was really bulged out. When you walk down to the end of it, again, I'm not the toughest guy in the world, so I was kind of, it just creeped out. You're standing from, me to the camera, from tens of thousands of gallons of water held up by an 1/8 inch thick piece of steel, which again, a lot of tanks are built out of that. Not bang tanks like, fuel tanks and such are built out of that, but it just made me nervous. So at some point we had eventually came in and put those vertical beams back in that you're seeing right now. But then I decided in late 2015, so this is actually the latest clip of video that you guys are seeing, in late 2015, we decided to put in concrete. So I put in some rebar, although those big vertical pieces were gonna be plenty. I put in some rebar and we poured the concrete. Now that concrete we poured, we cut a hole in the top of the I-beam so we could just flow it in. But this was not an easy project. We built it all up, but we were on a huge timetable because it was right around the holidays, and I had a concrete truck coming and a pump truck coming, and we were behind schedule. And so the truth is, we didn't do a good job. We didn't reinforce this like we should have. You see those 2x4s? We should have been using 4x4s or doubling that up. So the pump truck, again, so we had a concrete truck up topside, which is 35 feet above us, and then go down the access portal inside, and then hose and pipe all the way down to the end of the tunnel. It was a big operation to do this. and then dropping it in from the top. About halfway full, the thing cracked. The form started cracking. And when it did, it splashed us with concrete. I thought the whole thing was done for. I thought the concrete form was going to go, the concrete was going to go, and then the differential in pressure on the other end of the bulkhead was going to break the steel bulkhead when it released really quick. So I was super nervous. So we reinforced it. We poured some more, but the forms were just talking to you. If you've ever poured concrete, forms make noise. Some noises are like, okay, that's normal. Other, it's like, holy crap, we need to not keep pouring. So I stopped the pour. I think about that far from the top. So we don't have that much more to go. But I was just really nervous and I didn't want to lose what we had. So right now, the status of this is at the end of the tunnel, the forms are still up. I haven't taken them down yet. So what I need to do is I need to take them down, reinforce them. Now, in some of these pictures, you're seeing a black strip around the ring of the metal. What that is it's, I can't remember the name of the stuff. It's a really fancy name, but it's a really simple product that you glue it to the inside of the steel. And then when concrete and wet hits it, it expands. So it actually, once the concrete sets especially, once the water tries to leak past it, it'll expand and tighten up. And it's really, really strong product. It's amazing. So that's what you see in that ring that we put around there. But we put that in, formed it up, put rebar in, then formed it up, and poured the concrete. And so that's what you're seeing right now. Thanks again for always being here for us. We appreciate the subscribing, watching, sharing, all of that. Again, love you guys. We'll see you in the next video.